A Michigan couple were arrested for allegedly harboring over 250 illegal aliens for their plumbing company over 4 states, making $75 million in the process. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we have more illegal alien news. This time we have the actual employers of a company being held accountable. Allegedly, a Michigan couple, I guess husband and wife, I suppose, have a plumbing company, and they harbored 250 illegal aliens over not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different states, making 75 million US American cold hard cash dollars in the process. This is, in my humble opinion, a form of slave labor. They were talking about passports being confiscated. They were forced to work and they couldn't really go anywhere. That is the exact spirit of slave labor. Now, some are going to say, well, look, ABL is not the same. They're getting paid. They're not getting beat. But that's not really the issue. The issue is cheap labor, exploited labor to gain an advantage over the opposition. If you're able to have labor that works for free or next to free, that's going to always beat a company who has to pay them American wages. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the actual video here. I will link to the clip in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Another big story at 5:30 involving a Metro Detroit couple accused of employing nearly 250 undocumented workers. They were found at a plumbing company in Plymouth. Fox News' Lauren Edwards is live in Plymouth now with that story. Lauren.
Roop, I can tell you that we've been digging into this all day, and the couple lives over in Plymouth, and they are facing serious charges and serious time behind bars if they are convicted of these charges. But let's break this all down. Let's get into some of these details. Now, Fox 2 visited the home over in Plymouth, knocking on their door. No one opened the door, but spoke through the door, saying that they are not interested at this time with speak.
Let's pause. The home is beautiful, nice decorations. You would never expect that they are allegedly guilty of harboring 250 illegal aliens. You would never guess that.
With the news media. Now, according to the Department of Justice.
There might be a sign right there. The Mexican flag, that might be a sign right there. Okay. That might be a sign. But at least they have the American flag on top of it. That's a nice touch.
Attorney's office out of the Western District of New York. The couple was investigated between January 2022 and August 2025. Their names, 36-year-old Moises Orduna Rios and 30-year-old Raquel Orduna Rios. They operated Orduna Plumbing, a national company based here in Michigan. DOJ alleges that they made $74 million while employing 253 people, many of them who were undocumented workers. And allegedly, the workers lived in overcrowded houses and hotel rooms. Then Tuesday, the couple was.
So while they live in this beautiful home with nice acreage, beautiful landscaping, beautiful decorations, they got their actual workers living in ramshackle stuff, probably got rodents and all kind of insects in there. It's fine for them to live that way while they live this way. See, that's what the illegal alien issue is all about. Exploiting labor so you're able to live high on the hog as an employer. So I'm glad, if, again, it's all alleged, I'm glad that there's finally some accountability happening for the employers.
Arrested and officially charged with conspiracy, transporting and harboring unauthorized aliens for commercial advantage or private financial gain, money laundering, and others. Fox 2 reached out to attorney Todd Perkins, who's tried cases in federal court. He's not in any way connected to this particular case, but he shared his thoughts about how he sees it all unfolding.
How do I see it coming down? You know, it's going to be based upon the witnesses that they have. They indicated in the complaint I saw, it's a 27-page complaint, and I saw that they had person being alien number 11, 12. So it says to me that they have a multitude of different individuals. How many of these individuals will be consistently stating and supporting the allegations, and it indicated that in this business they checked the employment records, and apparently only 5 were legally present or had work visas or were citizens. I don't know specifically.
So out of 253 human beings, 248 were here illegally. Okay, I got it.
So, that's the crux of the case, is their status and their ability to work.
Fox 2 will be keeping an eye on this case, and if you would like to get a good look at that complaint, just head to fox2detroit.com. I'm Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, and we know that these are the 250 involved, but on top of that, are they looking into the possibility that they've done this before, or they've worked with other people who are undocumented as well?
Roop, I can tell you at this time that there are just so many unanswered questions. As I said, we've been digging into it all day, and we're wondering the same thing. Is there a past with this? What else is going on in this? What else don't we know? But we just know at this time about what's stated in that 27-page complaint, that they have accused of hiring over 200 of those undocumented workers, and 200 people, many of them who are undocumented workers, and they're just looking at the status and what exactly went on.
All right, there we go. So 253 people, well, 248 to be specific, that are here totally illegally working for this plumbing company. Wow, let's go back to the house. Let's go back to the beautiful home. Okay. Well, the owners of the company, I suppose husband and wife, said it was a couple. The owners of the company live beautifully. The workers live in pretty much wherever. Okay, Motel 6, rundown stuff, roaches, rats, all that kind of good stuff. See, that right there is the epitome of slave labor, which is a big part of the reason why we want to get the illegal aliens up out of here. We don't want the labor to be exploited anymore. Now, there's a little bit more to the story, a little teeny bit more, a few more details that the first video did not quite cover.
This is the business in question that has a Metro Detroit couple in hot water with federal investigators.
It's not just simply an immigration case that's charged, it's also money laundering.
And these are the federal documents investigators say detail the inner workings of the plumbing empire built by Moises Orduña Rios and his wife Raquel over a 5-year period. The Plymouth Township couple owned Orduña Plumbing, Manpower Supply, and allegedly hired undocumented workers, took their passports, and crammed them into tight living quarters. These photos from the criminal complaint. The federal complaint focuses on Rochester, New York, but Michigan, Ohio, and North Carolina are also mentioned as places the company operates. According to the complaint, out of 253 workers, only 6 were in the U.S. legally and permitted to work. The complaint claims the husband and wife generated $74 million in their plumbing business that was based out of Michigan.
So whenever you use money that is unlawful and you deposit it into a bank and you manipulate the banking system, that's money laundering. And that's what the government's alleging here.
Now, you get the idea. Let's go back to some of these living quarters. See, look at this here. So that's where they are. All right. You see kind of what's going on, living in little pallets on the floor, corners of a home. All right. You already kind of see what's going on. And they took their passports. Now, one thing I want to say as I close is that this has been going on for 5 years. Now, what happened 5 years ago? I mean, anybody will help me out with that? It's 2025 right now. I'm no Albert Einstein. I don't know. What's 1 + 1? 15. I have no idea. But 2025 minus 5 is what? 2020. And what happened in 2020? Floodgates opened up, COVID-19, southern border, all that good stuff. That was right around that same time. So the Biden border rush allowed for this criminal empire to flourish with a bunch of undocumented illegal aliens, kind of forced labor, things that really shouldn't be going on were happening with this particular company. But you know what? I'm going to add one last piece here. This could be an opportunity for Americans to get into the trades more because it made a bunch of money, $74 million over 5 years. Now, there might be an issue with the pricing, obviously, because you're not using cheap illegal alien labor. But I think there is most certainly room for Americans to get in there legally. But first, what has to happen is we got to get all the illegal aliens out so they are not interrupting our business, so they're not competing with us. That's going to be the main thing. And I'm glad that we got ICE on the job. We got Trump saying, hey, get him out of here, Tom Homan. I'm glad we have them on the job to get us back to a place of normalcy, or at least close to it, in the good old US of A. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the plumbing empire? Again, 250 or so illegal aliens in the country working, $74 million, living in cramped quarters, ramshackle stuff, on the floor, cots on the floor, while the couple who own the company living beautifully, living the American dream. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is part of the reason why the illegal aliens got to go. Number one reason is because they're here illegally. But number two, you see that we're talking about slave labor, essentially. And as far as I know, as far as I can recall, slavery is no longer legal in this country as of 1865. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that is all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.